Greetings and salutations. Hey besties. I have no upload schedule, so I don't know when this will be up. I don't know when you'll be watching this, but at the time of filming, Red TV is like 3 days away, and I went through the worst heartbreak and one of the most painful things in my entire life a couple months ago, and I'm in no way over it or coping with it still. So Red TV is going to be real fun. I'm really excited for my mental stability with Vault tracks. It's great. So in order to try and prepare myself a little bit emotionally, I thought I would ask you guys for some unpopular Taylor Swift opinions, and you sent in a bunch, so I'm gonna react to them, maybe get a little angry because I tend to defend Taylor Swift more than I defend myself or my loved ones, because she is my ultimate loved one. So let's go. Folklore is better than Red. I mean, they're my top 2 favorite albums, so I kind of prefer Red, but I think Folklore is objectively better for sure, but like Red is my personal favorite, so that still hurts a little bit, but like they're my top 2 albums. So, and I mean, Folklore did win Album of the Year, I guess, so there was that, but I still think Red deserved Folklore over Evermore. I kind of agree. I think it just depends on personal preference and also like where you're at in life. I've constantly said that Folklore is kind of like a pain album. It's just when you're kind of going through the hurt, whereas Evermore is kind of when you start to heal from it, and I just haven't reached that place yet. So I'm still in my Folklore, and I feel like what you prefer kind of depends on where you're at emotionally. Thematically, they're very different albums, and I think they're quite similar sonically, so it just depends on what you prefer thematically a little bit. I don't know. Getaway Car is overrated. No. If this was a movie and the last time underrated songs, considering the last time is my favorite song on Red, I have to agree. I also think if this was a movie, is it my favorite deluxe Speak Now song? It probably is. I think I prefer it just slightly to ours. I also really love Superman. I don't care. Lover is an excellent album. Correct. I fully agree. Thematically speaking, Reputation is the best album. I actually agree, I think, for sure. Wonderland is the best 1989 deluxe track. It's my personal favorite because You Are in Love would be my favorite if it was like acoustic, because You Are in Love acoustically in the 1989 tour is one of my favorite Taylor songs ever, but I preferred that performance to this, like the album version for sure. So if we're just talking album versions, yeah, I think Wonderland's the best. Sorry for New Romantics, love you babes. I think I overplayed you when I was a kid though, so like, sorry. Cardigan is a bit overrated. Completely disagree. Cardigan is one of my favorite songs Taylor has ever written. Oh my god. You drew stars around my scars, but now I'm bleeding is one of the best lyrics she's ever written, and I will die on that hill. The feeling of having someone make you feel better about all your wounds and all your scars and make you like feel okay about them, and then turn around and like cut you deeper than any of those scars, is the most complex feeling I've ever felt in my entire life, and she perfectly summarized it there and made it sound pretty. Stop sleeping on Cardigan. Taylor should have gotten a Grammy for Red more than Fearless in my opinion. I think Fearless is probably more of like a classically put together album, I guess, but I prefer Red, and I think Red deserved more, to be honest, but I don't want to like take the Fearless one away either. I just think Red deserved in general. Me and You Need to Calm Down are actually really good. I actually really like both of those songs. I prefer Me, but I also really love You Need to Calm Down. Epiphany is one of her best songs. You're right, and you should say it. I don't know if this is unpopular, but I much prefer her middle album. I actually don't know if that's unpopular or not, but again, very valid. You prefer what you prefer, you like what you like. I'm not gonna shit on that at all. Valid, babes. You love what you love. Reputation was iconic, but arguably her weakest album as far as writing and music. See, I don't agree. I think there are some songs in Reputation that aren't her strongest lyrically, but then Reputation also has New Year's Day and Call It What You Want and Delicate and Getaway Car and some songs that I think are like career-topping songs for her. I don't agree with that, I don't think. Fearless is overrated. None of her music is overrated. I don't think any of her music is overrated because it's genuinely good. Things aren't overrated if they're good. Just because something is popular doesn't mean it's overrated. Sometimes it just deserves the popularity. Not a big fan that she used the I'm Too Sexy riff for Look What You Made Me Do. It just sounds so out of place. I don't really agree, but I can see where you're coming from. But I think I'm so used to it now that it just sounds familiar, but I feel like I might have agreed when I first heard it. The majority of the songs on the Ryan Adams cover album are better than the original version. I think the only one that I prefer is Bad Blood, but again, that's probably up to personal taste. I just don't like Ryan Adams that much though, which might play into it, but I did love his version of Bad Blood. The Bridge of New Year's Day is her saddest. It's one of her saddest for sure. There's a lot of really upsetting bridges in her career. I think Better Man has her saddest bridge of all time, if I'm honest. Please don't ever become a stranger whose laugh I could recognize anywhere is one of her most heartbreaking lyrics ever. I'm not gonna deny that at all. I can't listen to it without fucking having a breakdown. I want Crazier Taylor's version. Me the fuck too. I also want Safe and Sound and Eyes Open Taylor's version and Sweeter Than Fiction Taylor's version. I can't speak, but I want them all. Starlight is actually a really good song. It was my first Stan song off of Red. When I was a kid, it was my immediate favorite. Red came out on my 11th birthday. My favorite song now is The Last Time, but as a kid, my first Stan song was Starlight. I was obsessed with it, and it was this, I was so heartbroken when it didn't make the like tour set list, but then I heard it live when I was 17 anyway. Shout out to her making up the surprise song at Rep Brisbane. But no, I agree, I love Starlight. I'm really excited for Starlight TV. Spicy fucking take. If her dad wasn't a stockbroker, she would not be the modern face of the music industry. The talent and artistry she cultivated wouldn't yield the same success without her parents dropping serious money. I guarantee she would still have been a successful musician, but maybe not a global superstar. I agree that she wouldn't be as successful as she is now, for sure, and I do not think she would have been as successful as young as she was without her parents dropping a fuck ton of money. Because the thing is, I do genuinely think she's one of the smartest business women, not only in the music industry, but just like in the public eye that we know of today. I think she's so intelligent with every career move she makes, and she very clearly worked so fucking hard from a young age. Like, she got a fucking Sony publishing like deal when she was 14. There is no denying the talent that she had and the hard work that she put in from like the age of like 12 onwards to get her name out there and work really hard. But would she have been as commercially successful as young as she was? I don't think so. I think a lot of that did come from her parents being willing to drop serious money, and also the privilege of her parents being willing to, you know, move for her to pursue that career. Not everyone has that privilege. I do still think she would have been majorly successful. I think she may have eventually become a global superstar still, and potentially always been the face of the music industry, because I think everything kind of post like Fearless and on was just down to her. I think that debut being as successful as it was partially down to privilege from her parents. So achieving the success she did as young as she was, like, obviously the privilege paid into that, but I think her longevity as an artist and her talent is the reason she is as successful as she is and is still as successful as she is. I think that's 100% just down to her talent and her intelligence as a businesswoman. Dear John is better than All Too Well. I wouldn't say better, but they're both in my like top 3s on the albums that they are, and they're both like my go-to breakdown songs for this year. So I can't say one's better than the other, but like I feel like if you've lived Dear John kind of hits a bit more than All Too Well almost. You Belong With Me should have been gay. I mean, I agree. Lover is the best album. I don't know if I think it's her best, but I definitely think it's a lot fucking better than people give it credit for. All Too Well isn't really as sad as the fandom makes it out to be. You're wrong. When I was a kid, I thought the same thing. When Red first came out, when I was 11, I used to be like, All Too Well is sad, but it's not that sad. As someone who just went through the most painful heartbreak of her life, where it was like very all too well, like people literally called me up again just to break me like a promise. Yeah, it is as sad as the fandom makes it out to be. That song fucking hits. Stay 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 is a good song. It's one of my favorite love songs she's ever written. I fully agree. I kind of don't like any of the songs in 1989 other than like 3. 1989 isn't my favorite album, but I don't think there's any song in there that I dislike at all. So she is the best artist right now. Nobody can change my mind. I wholeheartedly agree. Me was a great lead single to accomplish both saying goodbye to rap and to introduce Lover. I fully fucking agree. I think a mistake that was made with the Lover promo was having the Archer be the 3rd song, going with From Me to You Need to Calm Down, I think made people very nervous about what the album was going to be lyrically, but I think Me was a perfect lead single and I really enjoy Me. I will never forgive the world for how they treated me. I think it accomplished exactly what she wanted it to. I think the music video was great. I thought the Hey Kids Spelling is Fun line was really fucking funny. I really like Me. I think it was great. I think she should have probably released the Archer or Lover in between so that people were more prepared for what the album was going to be lyrically. So It Goes is top 3 in rap, but it's not 2nd or 3rd. I respect that. Speak Now isn't as good as people think. You're right, it's better. I like Me, especially after seeing how happy she was making it in Miss Americana. It breaks my heart seeing how happy she was making it in Miss Americana now, or to watch like the old like Instagram live with Brendan Urie, how excited she was. I've always liked Me. I was a Me defender. Is it like in my top 5 on Lover? No, but I actually really like it, and I think it was a good lead single. All Too Well isn't her best song. I don't think it's her best, but I think it's one of the best. Why does Joe always look sleepy? this is not enough response to this, but the fact that like in every photo of him that Taylor Swift has ever taken, that man is literally walking with his head down is so fucking funny to me. It always makes me laugh. I have so many messages just being like, I love Stay, 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 and it makes me really happy. Thank you to all the Stay, Stay, Stay stans. I haven't been in love with an album since Reputation. All the albums have been mid for me. See, Folklore is like really up there for me, and Evermore is too. Like it's Red, Folklore, Speak Now, Evermore, like my top 4 albums, I think. Wider Streams TV sounds better than the original 100%. I know that I'm probably biased because just listening to a song that is ethically sourced is more fun and makes me feel better about it, but I genuinely think with every Taylor's version we have heard so far, they're genuinely better recordings because her vocals keep improving throughout her career, so they just sound better. I love Easter eggs, but some are too much and the fandom makes them annoying. I love Easter eggs. The time when I got really sick of them was the Lover era. I got really tired of them then. I'm back in love with them. I've been loving all the like Acorn, Squirrel stuff right now. I find those fun. I think Lover took it too far for me, but I'm back on board. Taylor Lautner deserved better. I mean, I think even Taylor agrees. Taylor Swift agrees, but also probably Taylor Lautner. Cruel Summer isn't that good. It's a good song, but Taylor definitely has better ones. I disagree. Like, I think she has better ones too, but I also think Cruel Summer is literally one of the best pop songs ever written. So like it is that good. My cats are cuter than hers. I think you have to send me photos of your cats to prove that. I think you just need to send me photos of your cats to prove that. I just hate Debut. I love Debut, so I don't agree, but like, sure. But I don't agree. Mr. Perfectly Fine is so fun. I've seen so many people say it's like milk. Who? Give me their address. I just want to talk. Mr. Perfectly Fine is one of my absolute fucking favorite songs on Fearless. Who's saying this? I just want to talk. Hey Stephen is underrated. I fucking agree. All Too Well is amazing but super overrated. All Too Well just deserves the popularity. I'm sorry. It's popular because it hits so close to home with so many people and is lyrically one of the best songs ever. That her only good songs are breakup songs. I'm sorry, have I entered a time machine back to 2012 when we thought this was an okay statement to make? She's won Grammys for songs that aren't breakup songs. Like, sorry, you can like her breakup songs most, but you can't say as a blanket statement her only good songs are breakup songs. Is it 2012 again? Have I gone back in time? Am I about to fight Directioners on the internet? She's hot. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I think we're all in agreement. Yeah. The Last Time is better than Exile. The Last Time is my favorite on Red, and Exile is like really far up on my Folklore ranking, but I do prefer The Last Time. I think it's probably because it hits closer to home for me, and that's always what determines my favorite Taylor song, but still. Superman and Superstar are both really great songs and are so overhated. I agree, Superstar has always and will forever be one of my stan songs on Fearless, not gonna lie, and I really love Superman too. I'm sick of being silenced about it. Speaking my truth, I love Superman. I love Shake It Off and Bad Blood so much they're bops and no one can tell me otherwise. Again, they're not like my two favorite songs on the albums, but I love both. Bad Blood, especially when I was younger when that song first came out and I had a bunch of toxic friendships, like that song went so fucking hard, and Shake It Off is still such a serotonin boost. Like dancing to that song, it's just free serotonin. I love it so much. I love both of the songs. I'm never having a bad time listening to them, honestly. And the rep performance of Bad Blood, like mashed up with Shoulda Said No, oh my god, one of my favorite things Taylor has ever done. My Tears Ricochet is the best track 5. Yes, better than All Too Well. I kind of think the best track 5 is The Archer, but I'm very biased. Zero hate at her, but I preferred her dip into the pop genre more than her other work. That's very valid. I respect that. I don't like that she joined TikTok and her TikToks are not even that entertaining. Then don't watch them. She's having fun. She's not on TikTok to please you. She's on TikTok to have fun. You don't have to follow her. The merch is not the best. Depends on the merch. Some of it's lovely. Shout out to like a lot of the Folklore merch, which I loved. Shout out to the Reputation merch, which I loved. I've been liking some of the Red merch a lot, but then you also have like the Swiftie stuff that she just released for Red TV. So, bit of a mixed bag. I Knew You Were Trouble is one of her best songs. I wholeheartedly fucking agree. She gets attacked too much for the guy she dated and broke up with. Yeah, here's the thing about like her getting attacked for her love life is that it's fucking ridiculous, and it didn't come from any place of actual validity. It just came from a place of slut shaming. She literally dated like any normal 20-something, like late teen, 20-something year old does. She got like endless hate and slut shaming for it. And for what? She literally did not do a single thing wrong. She was just dating normally. And even if she was dating more than is in the normal amount, who the fuck cares? That's no one else's business. It still bothers me that she got such like this, you know, international hate train against her for that. Like, it was utter bullshit, and it still bothers me. Anyway, thank you so much for sending in opinions. I'm always happiest when I'm talking about Taylor Swift, so thank you. I hope we're all having a very fun day. I hope we're all streaming every Taylor album ever, especially the ethical ones. I love you. I will see you very soon. Mwah.